Previously on Table View's Black Love panel.
I learned over 64 years that you cannot out-talk a woman.
The question again is, what are some of the more difficult parts of married life?
My whole life has changed ever since you came in. I knew way back then that you was heaven sent, angel here on earth. I love your mama for your birth.
Did you guys have anything to add before?
I'll add something, and I'll add this as a newlywed. So obviously we haven't dealt with significant challenges or issues in our marriage. Have we had problems? Yes. Have they been huge issues? I don't think so. But I will say one of the biggest challenges I've experienced as a newlywed is you spent 20, 25, 30, 35 years of your life as an individual, and then now you were joined in the holy matrimony with this other person, and now you have to share a life with that person.
Yeah.
And there is an adjustment period that comes along with, okay, I used to be able to do these things because it was just me.
Yeah.
I had to just worry about me. I didn't have to, especially when you're a man and you get grown, I didn't have to call in and say, hey, I'm staying out late with the guy. You just did what you had to do. And that's a small part. I mean, even if we just talk about, when you go to bed or how you take care of the house, all those different things, you're used to a way it's done because it's only been you've had to answer for. Whereas now there is someone else involved. And I'm not saying be someone you're not. I'm not saying to do something totally different, but you also have to consider that there is someone else involved, and the things you do has an impact on that other person as well. So you can't just do what you want to do willy-nilly and not consider what your partner has going on. Yeah. And I think that's mostly for newlyweds. I mean, I would assume as you've been married for years and years, you get adjusted to married life. And
what you said doesn't change.
Really?
No, it doesn't.
That carries, that's you build that foundation that you carry through.
Okay.
Focus on the other person and those things that probably carries through, absolutely.
Now, I've asked questions about conflict, I've asked questions about difficulty, but there is also, clearly everyone has been married for a long time for good. So my next question is, what is the best part of being married? Because nowadays, unfortunately, you have a lot of women who decide they never want to be married. You have people who have where the divorce rate is really high. And there's so many different reasons, to each its own. But share with us, tell us the good about marriage. What keeps you guys, going strong? We've heard bad, but there's good too. So this is another open discussion, and anyone can start.
I would say for me, it's just like you have a life partner, you have a best friend built in you, someone that will always basically have your back. Just coming home every day to him is like a blessing to me, because it's like I get excited to see him. Oh, I want to learn about your day, or we can go and watch movies. So it's like you have a lifetime best friend and lover, I feel like. Yeah,
I do think it's really special to have that special partner in crime that has your back no matter what. And like, I've talked to a lot of my friends who aren't married, and I tell them like, man, one thing I love the most about marriage is that I have someone who supports me no matter what. Now, it doesn't mean she's gonna let me go blind and do what I want to do when she got me regardless. She's gonna make sure I'm doing things the way it needs to be done. But if I tell her, hey, I think we should do this, or I really want to give this a try, she has my back and she supports me with that. Now, if it's something absolutely ridiculous, she'll be like, okay, let's find a different version of that. But it's still someone who has my back and that's by my side.
And I wouldn't leave him any type of way. Same with him. I hope he wouldn't leave me any type of way.
No, of course. And the other thing I add is, it's I feel it's very nice to grow and build together. That it's something anyone can do that alone. But what you do, what's all this building that you're doing, who do you have to share it with? Who's by your side through that process? And I'm going to assume you get lonely and that you feel, I did all this, but I have no one to share with. I don't even know why I took all this time developing myself, building this wealth, creating this life, and there's no one there with you. It's special when you have someone by your side and you two can put together a plan and say, this is how we're going to execute, and this is how we're going to grow. And we each have our own lanes, we each have our own roles, but we both are leading towards the same goal at the end of the day. And once you get there, I think that's a really special feeling.
Good job, Preston.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Yes.
I like that.
Good job.
Yes, yes.
And I will say this, if you stay on the track that you just stated, you guys will be successful.
Yeah.
You'll be talking about 30 years and 60 years if you do those things. One thing I will say is, for me, I believe in being positive, and trying to keep things with a positive spin. Like you talk about problems and talk about negative things. I don't like to talk about things as being a problem or bad. I'd rather say there's opportunities. So really for me is anytime you encounter something, you say it's an opportunity. Opportunity means it's something that we can work on to improve on. So I think being positive, and the positive thing in it for me is to, as I stated before, for us to focus on each other and try to keep each other positive in the limelight and saying the right things to each other, and not being upset and trying not to be offensive or defensive to each other, and not take things personal when something's being said to you that, you know, hey, I give the benefit of the doubt. It was meant in a positive way, not in this way. Because that's one of the things that can really hurt, is if you look at things and when something is said, you automatically assume that it's something bad or negative. That causes a lot of friction and a lot of problems. So I think that just staying positive in those things with a positive mind, a fresh positive outlook on things, I think those are the things that make it go on and makes it strong. And as was stated before, when you get into it, you want to be in it for life. And you know, and you want to go through life, and you guys are starting, but you know, you go from where you are now, having a home and jobs and those things, to having a family and raising a family, and like we are sitting here and watching our kids now go and spread their wings. So to me, that's what it's all about, and that's the positive thing, and those are the things that we can think back 30 years ago when we started, that one day we'd be sitting in this position where we'd be able to see our offspring spread their wings and go out and live their lives. And we're able to do that. And God bless us, we'll be able to, years from now, be able to see our grandchildren growing up and spread their wings. So those are the things that I think that motivates you to keep you going and keep you positive and upbeat about it. And then, you know, look at each other and be able to say, God has blessed us, look at what we've done.
And I like to say, God bless the child that got his own. My thing is, when they say, when you leave home and get out there on that world by yourself, you got to know what you want and where you going. When I left home and got my first job, she got me, the first thing I wanted was to buy me a house. I didn't want to rent. I didn't want to live in no apartment and no nothing. And we saved our money and bought a house. After that, I wanted the children. I didn't want but 2 kids, and that's all I got. I know what I wanted. I knew whatever. I knew what I wanted when I left home, what I wanted to do. But I didn't know how I was gonna get her till she got me my job. I ain't never filled out the application. Look for a job. Everybody else got me a job. I ain't never did nothing like that. Somebody got me a job. Said, you want to work? I said, yeah. Well, come on down there. We got a job for you. In the plant, I never called, filled out an application for a job. Always somebody tell me, Richard, that's your job. You do it. You take it. And that's what I wanted. And divorce. I didn't never want no divorce. I don't care how you got mad, how many times we argue a lot. That means I said life ain't fair, but you just have to be strong. That's all it is. It ain't gonna be easy. And that's what I wanted. When I left home, I know exactly what I wanted when I left there.
Okay. And I'll go next. I think that when what the happiness is that I wanted to be married. I wanted 3 beautiful girls. I
they
got
sure
3
are
beautiful girls. And so by saying that, I found a great husband here. And I just look at the happy part about that was we started our journey off. And with that journey, end up having the children. Then we started the travel, and then just the whole life journey occurred, and it just gave us these different experiences, those happy places of, to me, knowledge and learning, because travel is learning. Learning to adjust to wherever we were. You know, how are we gonna settle in? How is my mood going to be? Which I tried to keep it upbeat on every journey. So I tried to make sure that each time that we would move or do something, that I would make sure that we were secure, that the family was settled, and we could make everything flow. And to make sure that he could go out there and provide the way that he's supposed to provide for us. Also, in the meantime, we have our trips, we have our family time, we had our little dates once again. We've always had that. We've always had our trip where we would take for our anniversary. So when I look at happy time, and then I look at a lot of our family time, to me, is a happy place. When we're all together. That's my happy place. To see everybody getting along, to see everybody just enjoying and loving on each other. So when I look at not just our marriage to him and I look at, as he stated, the offsprings of how we have made these beautiful people to come in and make us smile on every accolade. Whatever you guys do, we're like, yes, those are our kids.
Expanding the family through our son-in-law.
Yes. So, those are the things that I think are make me happy in our relationship. And he does too. Don't get it twisted. He does too. But as my dad say, and because I don't want to make it seem like I don't want to make it seem like marriage is bad. But like my father say, in his words, life ain't fair. And life throws some curveballs at you, and you just got to be ready. So I just say that whatever happens, stick together, hang in there, and I feel that he is worth it. He's worth the journey. That's what I feel.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's what you make it.
Yes. But I'm just saying, you know, life is not fair. There's going to be some things.
Nana, you were going to say something?
All of those things that you've said are teachable moments to help you go through life. The things that we go through, that's to make you stronger. God is above all of it. That's the one that really helped me, got me into where I started thinking about. One while it seemed like I was being selfish, but I wasn't. I was trying to think of what's going to help me, because I was trying to help him in a lot of ways, and I couldn't do it. And so I had to focus on me. And then after I started focusing on me, then me and my girls would do a lot of things together. He worked. But one thing I like about this man, I have never had anything cut off in my house. I have never wanted for food, clothing, or nothing. He has really provided for us. And I knew if I quit something that I had somebody to support me. And when I called him, when I quit GM, I said, I'm getting ready to turn my resignation in. And he said, I said, what should I do? He said, you know what you want to do. I said, oh, thank you. And I signed it and let it go. And went on, you know, after I had gotten a little schooling, some more schooling. But this was my backbone.
And then I know something sometimes, because I'm hearing it as well, but I think it's more at the me moment now. You see what I'm saying? Because I heard she said, I had to get me together. I said, I have to do things for me. We're at that me moment now in our lives, because of the fact is that you don't want to lose who you are over life, because you can't. Just to let you know, you can lose yourself. So what we say is, when we mean that me moment means that it's that you have to take that step back and say, I know that I'm Daphne. I know that I am Whooper's wife. I know that I'm all you guys' mother. But at the same time, I have to be good and healthy and strong to help all of you guys. Because if my mind messed up, I can't help you. I can't help anybody. And so when I want to just be clear, it's not being a selfish moment of us saying the me moment now. It's just saying that you have to grow to saying that I do have to take care of me to help everybody else. Because too many times that's how things happen, and you fall and you stress and you do all these things because you forget, oh, everybody's pulling at me. Everybody wants me. Everybody wants this one person. And then you sit back and you go, I'm trying to provide and do everything for everybody. And then you lose who you are. And you lose your strength and it's a whole bunch of things, and that's something you can get to later, but it's a whole bunch of things. But it's never a saying that I'm not saying it was us, because it's always been us. It has, but you grow to that time of that me moment. And I heard her and I heard myself, and I can hear sometimes how we may put that in there. I just want to clarify that it's not just a selfish moment. It's not saying we're selfish. That's not the mentality. It's just saying you have to take yourself first before you can help anybody else.
Yes. And I appreciate that, like I said before. So I wanted to wrap this up, and we've all heard the term Black love. So to conclude this, let's go one by one by each couple. If you could create a definition of Black love based off of your own love, what would it be? And I will actually, you guys can kind of think about it unless someone's ready to. But I'll say the question again. If you could create a definition of Black love based off of your own love, what would it be?
I would say, to me, I would define it as based off of your own love. To me, it's the love that is strong, because when you think about, to me, I think about Black love, it means we as a people, in order for us to endure and to get to where we are today, we've had to be strong. We've gone through 400 years, and the things that we've been challenged and continue to be challenged with today in all walks of life, whether it's in corporate America, in church, or wherever, you're dealing with certain things. You've got things that's happening in school right now, and bullying, and all these different things that's happening. We deal with this constantly in our lives, and I think that we have been conditioned over the years where we can endure. That's why for me, we're the strongest people in the world for what we've had to endure. And I think, to me, Black love, that's what it is. It means we're strong, and if we put our minds to it, we can accomplish, we can do whatever we want to do. If we set our minds and be committed to saying, we're going to marry and we're going to be together till death do us part, we can do it. When we get away or deviate from that is when we do not go in and we're strongly committed to it. But we're proving that we as a people, whatever we set our mind to, we can do it. And to me, that's what Black love is. Black love for me would be saying that anything that I set my mind to and we set our minds to as a couple, as a family, we can accomplish it. There's nothing can stop us but us. So that's what I would look at Black love is. It's just something that's unstoppable, and no one can stop you. No one can deviate you off the course of what you're trying to accomplish. And you just have to continue to move straight, full steam ahead, and support and encourage each other. Keep each other on the right track, and you'll accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish.
I was gonna say, I would piggyback on Wilbur real quick. Is that to connect with that, and also I would say faith. Have faith. Trust in God. Believe in the Holy Spirit. Believe in all of it. That you can, as he said, can endure and have the strength, because he will give it to you every time. So I think that with strength and faith, that's a good team right there. You can't beat it.
It's a give and take. You're going to give some and you're going to take a lot too. That's it. But the way you can do it is through the help of this man upstairs. And then they'll say, well, he's not, but the Holy Spirit's here with you. So I'm very spiritual when I come to stuff like this. I know it works. And it's always worked. And it will never fail you.
And Braxton?
I just see Black love like as strong, powerful, our people just being strong and powerful. I just see us having a love that many may not have. And I just feel like with us, because we might not see a lot of couples in general, but especially like Black couples, you might see a lot of problems going on, or because a lot of our men may be in jail, they might, we have a lot of problems in our community. So for us to see married couples for years and years, I think it's powerful for Black people to stay together, be married and happily married. Because there's a difference. You could be married and miserable, but being happily married, then I feel like that is Black love, strong, powerful. Because as a people, us working together is a beautiful and amazing thing, and we cannot be stopped. So I just consider that Black love is beautiful.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think, like I was showing to you what I think the word was, and I wrote down resilient, which, you know, is basically when I think about it, I see that, you know, there was a time when Black people couldn't even get married, you know, so the fact that we're able to overcome that, and obviously all the other challenges that were associated with it, and we were able to go through civil rights movement, and through that still find love and create a family and develop a legacy. And, you know, now as we continue, the Black community is always facing an issue, but those who understand the value of Black love understand that you have to have someone with you to keep pushing forward. You know, you have to be resilient. And that's just in the individual aspect. When you look at the two people coming together, it's resilient because, you know, Black people are alpha people. You know, we are leaders. You know, we are strong-minded people. And it is not easy to put two strong-minded people together. So you have to be resilient to get through that. And sometimes that means the male or your, you know, male duties, whatever you want to call it, you might have to fall back sometimes. And that is strong for a man to do. Sometimes it is a woman, you know, you have your woman duties, and I don't agree with gender roles, which is why I'm doing air quotes. Sometimes you might have to step up and do that. And I'm sure that's strong for women as well, because you're probably thinking like, I am not supposed to be doing this, or I am way better than this, but I'm going to do it to support my significant other. So to me, I always think resilience is the best way to describe it, because you are going to push through and make it work. Especially when you look at the fact that people are getting divorced. We have people growing up without parents, you know, single mothers, single fathers, things like that. When you meet a couple that's willing to stick together because they love each other and because they understand the overall value of what it means for the community and for your family, it's incredible. And I think resilience is the best way to put it.
That is so true. I have to tell you this before we leave. We have young people that grow up with my kids all the time. They're stopping by, checking on us. And they said, I am so, even if they move out of town, they come back. They come to that house. We got the same telephone number that we had when we first got there. So they'll call, they'll bring their children by and said, these people have stuck together. They've been married ever since they've known us. And they just feel something about us that they can't say it for their family.
They see longevity.
They see
consistency.
And they said they just love it. And then if they see somebody down in front of our house and they've never seen, they're going to come knock on it, ring their bell on Thursday. They ain't supposed to be there. Nobody, Mr. Brown. This is what we have built up in our community. Around all them young folk, they have our back. That's all I can say.
That's good.
Well, I just want to thank you all for joining us this evening, answering these questions, being vulnerable, genuine, and we truly appreciate it. This was Paris Jones with Black Love. Back to you, Tia and Braxton.
It's okay though. We'll just cut that
Paris wouldn't marry me if he didn't have a job.
out. So you got him.
Make sure you
Like, comment,
And subscribe.
You guys say it with
You have
Nana.
to say it with her.
Yeah, you guys said the same time with
All
Nana.
right, TV Crew, that is gonna be the end of our video. Make sure you
Like,
comment.
And subscribe.
Papa, you the same.
No,
No, that's all right. That's all right.
It's a wrap.
That's
Great job, Paris.
Pt2 forever, there's nobody that's better. You've been with me in the sun and the stormy weather. Want you to have my son.